Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Baked Disney, the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. We're coming to you live from Seattle, Washington, where they have recently constructed a new Disney park. Did you even know? Did you know they built the Disneyland in Seattle?
I had no idea.
What is going on with our weather? This is like the third weekend out of 5 that it's rained, and we live in a desert. So I have something going on with the weather machine. Walt broke the weathering machine. Walt, what happened? Well, we're coming to you from, you can't really tell because we're covered in umbrellas.
DCA.
There's DCA's back there somewhere. Because it's Food and Wine Festival week.
Yay!
So we're going to spend a little bit of time here at DCA in order to enjoy food and wines. What we're going to do today, because there's been a lot of hype, Liz. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of hype recently about the opening of Star Wars Land. A lot of stuff, Galaxy's Edge, I did it, I said Star Wars Land. Galaxy's Edge is opening in a few months, and they put out a whole bunch of information, what to expect. Because new stuff coming out every day almost. And it got me thinking, because one of the topics that people want to know is what to expect with Galaxy's Edge. And it got me thinking about the opening of Cars Land. Were you here at all when Cars Land opened?
I was not at Disneyland pass holder yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had just started the Disneyland report when Cars Land opened, and that was one of the very first things I ever did was come to the opening of Cars Land. Now, it wasn't the morning of, it was late on the afternoon after work, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, so, some of the pressure was already off, but that was an intense experience, just even being there at 6 o'clock. So what we're going to do today is go to Cars Land, ride some rides that aren't broken because of the weather. Hopefully Radiator Springs and Mater's, but Luigi's we know is closed. We're going to go to Cars Land and try to reflect on what happened on Cars Land on opening day, and try to maybe use that as a baseline for our experiences to come at Disneyland for Galaxy's Edge. Let's go, guys. Look, it's Officer Blue.
How are you today?
Good. You keeping the streets safe?
Raining.
It's very rainy.
I'm trying to keep everybody safe, but it's a little slippery out.
It is slippery.
Yeah.
No, you're not slippery.
I'm good. You want to see Minnie? She's
Oh.
right inside.
Is she?
To the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's coming out or she's not coming
No,
out?
she's not coming
she's
outside,
inside.
but she's
Oh.
about.
Okay.
Staying dry in there.
Well, yeah, her makeup, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, Officer.
All right, thanks, Officer Blue.
Have a great day today.
You too. I love the shoes. See your shoes. They're fantastic. Look at Mickey Poncho. I would totally wear one, but you have a beard.
Oh, it's a Food and Wine hat.
Oh,
Yeah. We're wearing beanies. We can't get one, but they're fun. That's a fun hat.
Thank you. I'm gonna get taller as I go.
That was cute.
Yeah, they're hard to wear when you're covered in beanies and umbrellas.
Yeah, I would wear one if it was not raining. I would totally rock that.
Uh-oh. We got a hat down. Welcome to sunny California, Cars Land. Lands of scenic wonder.
Even in the rain?
Huh? Yes.
In the rain?
There, anyway, let's go inside. Now, okay, when I came to Cars Land, this lane, you couldn't walk through here. I was here in the evening when they were doing the street lighting ceremony, and you couldn't walk through here. There was just way too many people. It was so intense.
If that was like that for Cars Land,
Yeah. There were lines to get into Sarge's surplus hut. Just to get into that little surplus hut, there was a line.
Surplus hut.
Right here, Sarge's.
Oh.
The gift shop.
Gift shop. Got
Yeah,
it.
there was a queue
Just for the gift shop.
for the gift shop. But it was so amazing to actually be here, having watched them build it, for, I don't know how, a year or whatever, that I was watching and I was following along. Back, even before I started the channel, I was following the construction of Cars Land on Mice Chat.
Okay.
They did a weekly picture, photo update of the construction progress. And that's kind of what inspired me almost to do what I do.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. But I would follow along and just watching them build this and finally have it open, and to be so impressed with how right they got it,
It's a great segment, or like a great piece of DCA.
Yeah. And what I mean though is how much like Radiator Springs in the movie, it is. I mean,
Very
they
much
nailed
so.
it.
Yeah, they
nailed
did.
it.
Yes.
They nailed
They brought it
not
to
only the
life.
look of it and the feel of it, but also the geography. A lot of the places are in the same, geographical locations as they were in the film, which is kind of neat. I mean, it's obviously scrunched together a little bit. There was a line to get into flows that there was a queue right here. You had to get in the queue right here, and the line would go around and into just to get some ribs or whatever. Yeah, whatever they had.
The roast beef and cheese whiz.
Yep.
Do you know the voice of Lizzie in Cars?
She died.
Yeah.
No.
She was like 89.
I know her from.
She's in a lot.
From I think it was Soap.
Yes. Yeah.
Or was it Benson? Well, no, Benson was from Soap.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I remember her from back in the day.
But 89, man, like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'd be happy to live till 89.
Wow. Same music, though. I want to find out what the standby is right now. It's, what is it, 9 o'clock? It's not, I cannot see you.
What? What? I'm here.
It's 9 a.m. on a rainy Saturday. Let's find out how long the standby is for Radiator Springs Racers. It is 45 minutes.
Even when it's raining out.
I really wanted to walk through the queue, but I think I'll pass in 45 minutes in rain.
If it was like 30, I would have been like, okay,
Come with me, I have an idea.
Come with me.
We're at the intersection of Cross Street and Route 66. That's Route 66. This is Cross Street.
Have you ever been on Route 66?
Yes. Yeah, well, it's hard to get to because it's not actually really an operating road anymore. It's like a side road.
Oh, is it really?
There's a highway now that runs parallel to it. Well, all the highways do, really.
Never done like that. Isn't that kind of like a trip thing to do? You take
Yeah.
66?
Adam did that, and Justin both did Route 66 trips.
National Lampoon, wasn't that also Route 66?
I don't know. I think they had already built the highways for that.
Oh, okay.
Now, what I wanted to get at, though, is try to see if you can imagine, if you will, where the standby queue for Radiator Springs. Where do you imagine it would have gone?
Oh.
Like obviously, it's going to come out here, right?
Go outside the queue.
Uh huh.
Is there a wrap around like down there?
Uh huh.
And even further?
Uh huh.
It's like a wharf.
Well, no, here. All this right here. When I walked into Carsland, the first place I went was down here to see what the queue was like for Radiator Springs Racers, and where we're standing was full of people. This area right here was all queue.
Okay.
Everything in there. See those? You can see the switchbacks back there.
Oh, I see.
That's overflow. Okay. But all this right here was full.
Wow.
And most of this was full. They left a little bit on the side here so that you could walk by and walk through. But there were 3 or 4 switchbacks right here.
Like guys?
That was full of queue. The queue did end at the arch over there. It didn't go into the wharf, but they had it switched back. It was, the day of it was 6 hours. Yeah, and the ride broke down.
Did you ride it?
I didn't ride because it was just, I got here at 6 o'clock. So, I mean, I guess I could have gone standby, but the ride kept breaking down. When I was here, the ride broke down. So I just stood here for an hour and I watched them do nothing.
Sounds like you.
Yeah. I was just being impressed with the how beautiful.
Yeah, when this came out, I still didn't know who you guys were.
No, probably not. We were,
If it was like 2012, 2013. 14.
I hadn't done the Haunted Mansion video or anything. We weren't even Fresh Baked yet.
Yeah, I was just in the valley crying. Like the weather.
Yeah. Oh, that's a ghost car. Now, if this is 6 hours on opening day.
Star Wars is going to be like 12 hours.
There's no chance that Galaxy's Edge isn't more popular than Carsland, right?
No. I have. That's how I feel. Like I have nothing to say. I don't have any words of how Galaxy's Edge is going to be.
Yeah.
That first day.
I mean, it can't be.
Oh, I think it could be 12 hours.
They wouldn't let it get that way. They would just say you can't go. Right?
I don't know how they're gonna do this.
You know how they are gonna do it? It's what we talked about on the live stream, I think. Did we mention this on live? Oh, look at their so much. They're gonna sell fast passes. We did talk about that on live stream.
Okay, so they're gonna sell fast
Probably.
passes.
That's one way.
Like on the spot, almost like in my jacket.
No, through the app.
Oh, okay.
You want to buy a ghost?
Yeah. do you want to buy a fast pass ticket? $500. Okay.
I don't know. Like, you could break their website by saying, okay, starting at 8 a.m., we're gonna start selling fast passes.
Do you think they will hit just like capacity in just Galaxy's Edge, where people are just not allowed to come in?
For sure. Yeah.
So maybe they'll just do like segments, like 5 hours.
That's what windows.
Yeah,
wristband windows.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I hope they're like legit about this, and it's not gonna be like a Chuck E. Cheese thing where it's just like everyone's gonna go crazy.
I don't think so.
Have uneven pizza.
How did you get the Chuck E. Cheese?
I was thinking Chuck E. Cheese it's crazy, or you know, like Six Flags. Everything is just I feel like it's unorganized.
What?
You know, like it's like mayhem.
Guys, she just went from Galaxy's Edge to Chuck E. Cheese to Magic Mountain.
I feel like I hope Disney like people will be like professional, organized.
Yeah, well they're better. They're more professional than Chuck E. Cheese.
I know I took it to extreme.
What the hell?
I'm just saying, like, don't do a Chuck E. Cheese move.
Or Magic Mountain.
Or Six Flags.
Well, okay, so we're not going to wait in the standby, but we do have a fast pass for later on. So instead, let's go over.
Bears.
No, not yet. Not yet. You probably don't know what that's from. That's you watched it with me. That's Antonio Banderas from Desperado.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, who said that? Who was it?
Antonio Banderas.
He said not yet.
Yeah, because they were having a gunfight, and
I only saw.
And he wanted them to wait so he could get his guns out. So he said, not yet. And they all listened, and he took his guns out.
He sounded just like that, though?
Yeah, he said, not yet. We're going across the way here to Luigi's Casa de la Tars, which is closed. This is now what, at least the third time, maybe the fourth in a row, where we haven't been able to ride Luigi's when we wanted to. Because it's raining. Wait, they're going in.
What?
They're going in. No, look, the thing is covered in water, or covered in tarps. Where are they going? Yeah, that is a non-operational ride. That's confusing. People just went into the queue like it's gonna open, but this thing is as dead as disco. Now, do you remember riding the tires?
I wasn't around yet.
That was
pre-Liz.
That was a difficult ride.
See, I saw videos of you guys doing it, and it looked really, like...
If you didn't know how to do it right, you could just sit there like a rock in the middle of the track and not go anywhere if you didn't know how to, like, make it go in the direction you wanted it to go. Which basically is all about leaning. You're supposed to lean to the left, and it'll go left. You lean to the right, and it'll go right.
Water.
Lean back, and you'll fly away.
Now lean back. Now lean back.
And initially, which is kind of funny, and this didn't last very long, but the initial tests that they did the ride wasn't very fun. There wasn't a lot of.
Boring.
It was kind of slow, and like you were just kind of like, what do I do? So they added beach balls.
Excuse me. Oh yeah.
Giant, enormous, car-sized beach balls, and you would throw them at each other.
That sounds.
And everybody, that seemed fun. I actually did. I rode with the beach balls once, and that was kind of enjoyable. I like that, but apparently, one person.
Of course, it has to be that one person.
One person said this, this is unsafe or whatever, and they stopped doing that and returned to its boring self. And then they realized, oh, I know what's wrong.
It's a horrible ride.
This ride is stupid.
Yeah.
And so they changed it to Rollickin Roadsters, which is an improvement.
I like it. I like Luigi.
But it could be better still.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you change it?
I don't know, but I feel like they didn't get all the way there. Oh look, we're in Bugs Land. Or
the person was up there.
Look at that. What's that?
The person was up there working on the ladder.
Oh, a constructionizer?
Yeah.
Guys, that's the land that is formerly Bugs Land that is becoming Marvel Land. We're gonna have to go one of these days, Liz,
Okay.
to the Frozen show. Because up there,
Okay.
we can get a view down into Marvel Land.
Okay. Maybe your backpack's open.
Your backpack's open. I think they just went in to go look at the queue. They're huge fans of Luigi's and they wanted to go look at the queue. We've come from all the way from Gallup, Texas to look at Luigi's Rollickin Roadsters.
You're saying they're from Texas?
I'm just making stuff up.
You're cute.
I know. Okay. So yeah, Luigi's is a very cool looking ride in terms of its aesthetic within the Radiator Springs Cars Land milieu. I think it looks great. It's perfectly themed to the
You
environment.
don't like the ride in general?
But the ride itself is kind of dummies. It's kind of
just no hands and just get whipped around. I like that.
okay. It is an improvement over the flying. What were they called?
Flying tires.
Flying tires.
Death.
Oh. And that was a John Lasseter idea, actually.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one who said, "Hey, let's do the flying tires bit."
Like what? When was that in the movie? Like, was there like even a tire scene in the movie?
When did they have flying tires in cars?
Why? What's your question?
I love my wife so much. There was no scene.
Okay, then.
The tires never flew. That's the inherent problem. Let's go ahead and talk about that. That's the inherent problem with designing a land that is strictly about one movie and building a land whose environment is a replica of the movie itself. Cars Land, Radiator Springs is a replica of the movie. So now that you've tied yourself down, you've painted yourself into that corner, we've got to make a land that looks exactly like it did in the movie. Now you have to make an attraction that somehow fits in there.
Yeah.
And that's how you get an attraction like Luigi's Casadilla Tires in the land that we see today has to exist. You can't build this land without that building there, right? It has to be there. You can't make this without it. You can't put something in here that wasn't in the movie, in other words. You can't just drop a random because they built the town first. So now you have to say, well, okay, now how do we turn a tire store into a ride? And that's the problem, is that you have very limited sort of options when, as far as that goes. You can't be creative, or it makes it harder to be creative because you're wedged in. You're forced to make it fit the Luigi's Tire Shop. You're forced to make it fit, Flo's V8 Cafe, which makes sense. Flo's is easy. You can do Flo's. It's a restaurant. Orange Cones, super easy. Restaurants. Mater's is a little harder. Now they got Mater's right.
I love Mater.
They got Mater's right, and they've copied that now in at least 2 other parks, and maybe 3.
Okay,
that Mater's right is now in the Toy Story Land in Walt Disney World as the alien spinning thing.
Okay.
But so they got that right, but that it's just you can't. If you say I want to replace Luigi's ride is dumb, let's put something else new in there. It still has to be a Luigi's ride with tires or cars of some kind. Like how do you overcome those limitations? It's hard. It's very difficult, and that is the problem with building lands of any kind based on a single IP, which is why people object to I want Adventureland. I don't want Cars Land. I want New Orleans Square. I don't want Star Wars Land.
I don't think people can do it. I don't think people can be how it was back then.
It's hard.
Exactly.
It's hard. Walt had the
upper hand.
The freedom to do that because he didn't have to worry. No, it had never been done before.
Are we doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It had never done before, so there was no expectation. There were no rules. There were no limitations.
Right.
He could make anything he wanted.
Right.
And he got it right, luckily. Let's ride Mater's. I love this queue. They did a pretty good good job of making you feel like you're in a junkyard. Have you ever done Raiders in the Rain? I've never done Raiders in the Rain. You have?
It's fun, yeah.
Get in your eyeballs?
I think so, yeah. It was with my sister. We were about to leave. I was like, no, it's just a one more ride. She's like, Liz, it's gonna rain. I'm like, no, we're fine. Like, it looked like this, like not raining. She's like, Liz, it's gonna downpour. Like, we're fine. Right? We get on the ride.
It's not gonna rain.
Downpour. No, but when we got on the ride, it was downpour. And she's like, I hate you! And we're like whipping around, and there's like water splashing in her face.
You can hear it back there. You can hear it. There it is.
Boom! It's fantastic.
Camera's gonna get super wet too.
I think this beanie's too big for me now.
He's having fun.
You're like, I want to enjoy it, but I'm getting wet.
We're in the total blow zone right here. I like that guy. I don't think I've ever filmed the entire ride from the side before. That was fun.
And keep an eye on your kid. You're about to have more fun than a popped-off hubcap rolling down Route 66.
I like that
Boy,
picture.
that's fun. I don't care who you are. You catching leg with no, I see.
Yeah, this is not
I want
pleasant.
to cry.
I want my umbrella back. Here we go.
I want my umbrella back.
I want my umbrella back.
Train at the highway line.
It's really hard to do stuff. Water!
Oh God. Oh God.
I'm so wet!
Oh! Okay, that was too bad. Here we go. No?
No!
This one right here, this one.
I'm so wet. We got more raining!
Everything's wet. Oh my gosh. I feel like a hockey player right now. I just got checked into the boards. And it's wet. It's raining. No! Oh! Body slam. I just got Ric Flaired. And my camera's wet.
I taste blood.
Boy, that was fancy dancing.
That was fancy dancing.
Now remember, grab all your stuff. Come back anytime.
All right, thanks, Mater.
Red mate. Catch you later. That's right. Come on in. Find yourself a trailer and hop in so we can get this jamboree a jamboree.
Good times. That's gonna wrap our re-adventure through Cars Land, remembering days past and trying to enjoy this day as much as we can today. We may or may not have shown you Radiator Springs Racers because we have fast passes, but at present it's closed because of the rain, as is Luigi's, as we already showed you. Tell me now, before we go, Liz,
Yes.
rank Cars Land as a land within DCA. Like, how does it rank?
Like 1 through 10?
Well, no, like, is it your favorite land at DCA?
Oh, like all together?
What's your favorite land at DCA if it's not Cars Land? Or if it is?
I think Cars Land is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think what's really close to second is Redwood Creek.
Redwood Creek is the most underrated land, I think, in the park. So I would agree. I would put that number 1, but I would put Cars Land 2. Now, where would you rank Cars Land if you were to drop Cars Land into Disneyland?
It would be, I think this would theme really nicely. I don't know, for some odd reason, like in Frontierland.
Right, but would it be favorites-wise? Like, is there a land that you would prefer this over? Is there any land in DC or in California or in Disneyland that you would say is not as good as Cars Land? Toontown, maybe? Oh, you like Toontown.
Yeah, I don't think nothing beats Disneyland
Right?
for me.
I asked this question a lot.
Yeah.
I ask this question a lot because I'm with you, although I would put it ahead of Toontown myself. But that's about it.
Maybe Tomorrowland?
But the Radiator Springs Racers itself, the ride, is an amazing ride.
Yeah.
What would you get rid of at Disneyland to bring Radiator Springs Racers over to Disneyland?
I guess if there was a way we can like pick up Tomorrowland and throw it away and like maybe expand more of that as Fantasyland. And then
She wants to get rid of a whole land for Radiator
maybe
Springs
we'll kind
Racers.
of push out Adventureland because I'm not a huge fan of Adventureland.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it has like pretty much Junkyard.
But you like it better than Cars Land?
I do because it's Disneyland. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it
Okay.
makes perfect sense. That's why I asked this question.
I love Disneyland.
That gets to the core of what I'm
But if you're really
saying.
gonna take it like to a T, I would expand Frontierland high, and do Carsland part of Frontierland.
Look at those things.
I don't know why. I just feel like theming wise, it would fit nicely in Frontierland.
Doesn't fit.
Maybe it's just like the color.
It could be for the rustic nature
Yeah,
of it.
maybe.
I ask you, Fresh Bait, where would you do? Where would you put Cars Land in California or in Disneyland? Where would you put Radiator Springs
I guess
in
I
Disneyland?
would give up Toontown. I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, but everybody would say if you're going to get them into Toontown, just give me more Fantasyland or give me more Star Wars. They wouldn't want Cars Land. Anyway, it's an interesting thing to ponder.
But I do love me some Carsland.
Cars Land is still great. Yeah,
It's my favorite, I think.
it's perfectly placed here at DCA. I
It's great
think.
during Christmas. It's great during Halloween. It's just great all year round.
I love Cars Land. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're heading over to where are we going tomorrow? Pixar Pier. We're going to Pixar Pier tomorrow. We're going to do a little bit of remembering, just like we did today, about when it converted from Paradise Pier to Pixar Pier. Maybe we'll ride Incredicoaster. I don't know. It's raining, so we don't know if that's going to work out.
I mean, we did Mater in the rain. I'm sure we can handle anything else in the rain.
Let's go find out. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Fresh Bake. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Like this video. Oh, by the way, we took some pictures, right?
Yeah.
We took some pictures. If you want to see the pictures that Liz took while we're on Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, follow us on Instagram, _Fresh Baked. And until next time, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Fresh Baked.
Fresh baked.
We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!